Let me know if you want me to talk about something more. The videos you can talk about aren't necessarily the ones that lead to conversations. Make a bunch and talk about a few. Gemini can summarize the ones you post to YouTube. The TikTok algorithm is pretty good at linking topics. The TikTok algorithm is pretty good at linking topics. I think if you describe them well, the algorithm shows different people different videos at different times, and I can't predict what that's going to mean. I was fired from my job while I was getting screened for ADHD, only to find out that the symptoms I associated with ADHD were more associated with complex PTSD. I lost my job and housing, then moved in with family. I haven't had access to most of my belongings, which has made it difficult to show people what I've been working on. Some of the more accessible structures are connected to systems that are facing a lot of job loss. Tremendous job loss, some might say. There are beneficial structures that are accessible that don't require income. Other structures are maintained by consistent flow. With consistent flow, if I post this video to YouTube, Gemini can summarize it. Then, what is the experience? How can I reflect on the value that I provide? How can I develop the quality of these videos? What does quality mean? Dropping out of college wasn't a popular decision. A lot of people put very particular weight behind college, and dropping out of school immediately evokes a sense in some people's minds. My parents didn't approve of the decision and mostly treated it like something that I was going to do on my own for the sake of doing a decision on my own. Now that I'm older, I wonder what it means to make decisions on my own and how that's received differently as a positive or negative thing. It does seem important to acknowledge that I dropped out of school towards something. I wasn't going away from school. At the time, I was working on a student organization called Student Body for Meaningful Education, which I had founded in 2016 or 2017. I know a few people contributed energy to different dimensions of that organization concept at different times, so the actual structure feels a lot more amorphous now. In that student organization, there were 3 committees: discussion, connection, and creation. I think it was kind of designed to be a non-governmental organization or some sort of student-led, semi-anarchistic student council. Not sure if I used the right terminology there. I wanted it to be loosely formed and mostly existent as a flux of students who exist at the campus and aren't organized. Now I have blockchain language to describe the idea, but I was hoping there would be a reason that people contribute knowledge to curiosity, and that curiosity can continue even when the students aren't there. I appreciated that the university had a lot of pockets to engage with a variety of different participation structures, with it either being alumni or townies or professors or students, just different people engaging with the structures that were available. Now it's possible to use artificial intelligence to extend our learning structures, and a lot of the things that people got from school aren't remembered because they weren't valued as things to remember. Some would come back with different contexts for remembering or exploring memories. I would say the time that I spend defending my decision to drop out of school makes me remember the classes that I took because I think about the reasons why I went to college. I hope I've done enough work publicly that I don't need to defend my decision to drop out of school, and I hope that I can describe that I'd like to finish a degree and describe a reason to continue school. I know some people are going to college and dropping out without really forming the reasons why they would remain somewhere. And I would say there are a lot of reasons to remain in school. If you experience enough contexts and enough time, and you understand that the point of some of these experiences is so you can tell stories about them and have new things to explore in the future that you're motivated by, then you can leave school. Although I would recommend exploring the reasons why, like the dimensions that you got. Part of my story moving forward is that I do want to get a degree and I want to go to grad school and I want to explore a space and talk about it and have a reason to go beyond just I'm getting a degree. In this context, I'd like to go to grad school and describe the process of learning towards a degree. I'd also like to understand how a degree plays into the marketing of my skills and be able to communicate the skills that I have through a degree. When I was in high school, I didn't really have a concept of how people in adulthood would want me to describe my skills. So the degree path that I chose towards learning was helpful for learning, but doesn't really describe to people who don't understand it how it's relevant to their world. That's part of what I'm practicing here, and as I continue to explore research and studying and modern tools that can be useful for research and studying, that's what I'm going to be describing. So stay tuned if that's interesting. Subscribe, share. Also support me financially so I can accomplish other things. You might be able to hire me for software engineering, or project management, storytelling, media development, publishing, etc. I'll be exploring modern media. Cheers.